Hey everyone, and welcome to the MBH Show. I'm Matthew, and this is my show. So, this is going to be an interesting segment because it's kind of part of a journey, a health journey, an experiment, if you will. It is I don't know. I'm intrigued, so I'm gonna kind of take you along. So I have a doctor's appointment today, and like every good American, I started a walking routine 3 days before I had to go to this particular appointment. So with that, let's start talking about it. Okay, so let's start off with the fact I used to be on the ketogenic diet, and then I stopped, and then of course I didn't have the discipline to start eating healthy. I have a weakness for hamburgers and beer. That's like, and French fries and onion rings. So basically the kiss of death. So good, so good. But when I was on keto, it was perfectly fine. Felt great, felt sharp, felt really sharp. And, now I don't feel as sharp. Gained some weight pretty rapidly, and which is kind of expected. So I stumbled upon a podcast or YouTube of Dana White and a guy named Greg Becca. And Greg Becca is a human biologist, he says. And that's fine. I mean, I'm a human. And I just play everything on TV. So, but no, I don't know anything. So, but I was intrigued by the fact that Dana White had some medical issues, had some blood work, and the guy said, I'll be able to help you within a couple months, basically 10 weeks. And Dana White said, okay. So what he did is he mapped he did a DNA test, and the DNA test, I guess, had looked at 5 factors. So it only checked 5 things. So I've done 23andMe, and it tells stuff, but it doesn't tell everything. So I don't know if those 5 things are on 23andMe or not. 23andMe, not sponsored by them, but it's pretty cool. It's not a bad thing. It's very interesting. And, you're able to find out family traits and stuff like that, but it doesn't give you 100% of your mapping, which then leads me to, why is he only checking 5 things? So the question is, if I do 100% of my DNA mapping, will I be able to capture those 5 things, but then have 100% of my mapping? So the test that Dana White did was like $900 or $1,000. But I found sequencing.com, who tests your DNA, does 100%. And that to me even intrigued me more. I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't you do 100% of the mapping? And from what I understand, the DNA strands don't change, you can obviously have some mutations happen in extreme cases, from what I understand, or over time of environment and nutrition or lack of, or intake of chemicals, what have you. Anyway, but it's not something I'm worrying about, as everything's going to rapidly change on me. So I decided to sign up for sequencing.com. Again, I am not sponsored, but hey, if sequencing.com wants to reach out to me and give me some free reports, and I'm going to talk about it anyway, and I'm going to be as honest as I can. I'm a novice. I'm not an expert on any of this, but I'm just intrigued, and I just have questions. So they had a Christmas sale, Black Friday, even though it was a few weeks after Black Friday. So on December 15th, 2023, I paid $400 for 100% of my DNA mapping. And that comes with a bunch of reports, but not all the reports. There's a ton more reports. But I do believe I get the raw data as well. So as things evolve and companies come out of the woodwork, or people find a way to do their own reporting, or give it to a doctor, what have you, then I can. So I will confirm that that's the case, and I'm gonna obviously through this video list what I'm getting for the price. And although I am not going to relinquish major details on my medical history, I am going to tell you kind of my whole experience with the process. So the 15th, label hasn't quite been created. It is the 19th today. And what's kind of taken me down this path is I'm not against Western medicine whatsoever, but I am suspicious. So I don't like taking pills if I don't have to. I think diet and exercise is always the first line of defense, and it's kind of brushed over. It's kind of interesting that insurance companies aren't like, oh yeah, here's a personal trainer, here's a dietitian, and the first prescription is to get on a good diet based on your needs and your genes. What? That's what I would be doing. That's what I think is totally missing. So every time I go to the doctor, they want to give me something. I went for a cough and they said, oh, well, here, not antibiotics. Like I would take antibiotics if the doctor said, here, take antibiotics. And it was a clear line to the need of them. But I've taken antibiotics once in my life. I do take vitamins, but I don't take any other medication whatsoever. All my numbers seem to be within the realm. My cholesterol, which is expected when I was on keto. It's interesting, I will say this. When I was off of keto, what triggered me to go into keto a few years ago is my numbers were wonky. And they said, oh, well, you need to be put on, this, that, and the other thing. And I said, okay, just wait. So I took the next year to get into keto, exercise, and all my numbers for the next 2 years dropped into a point that they're like, well, just continue what you're doing. Everything looks great. So being off of keto now for about a year or so, all my numbers went up, but my cholesterol's only like a couple points over. So it's on the high side, but it's just outside the green zone. So I have two or 3 points, whatever. So that's not something to worry about, is what I was told. However, if you have heart disease in your family, from what I understand, those numbers don't mean much. They're a good, you obviously, if they're off the charts, you don't want, you want to tackle things. But even if they're not off the charts, you might be in danger of heart disease and risk and so on and so forth. So, being that Dana White, I watch the UFC. I enjoy it. I just love the athleticism and the skill sets of these athletes. It's amazing. I would love to go. Actually, I did go with Cormier and what's his face? I can't even think of his name. Anyway, doesn't matter. But no, it was great. Saw him at the Honda Center, but I would love to go again. Actually, there's no better seat than in front of it, in front of the TV. Anyway, that's kind of a lame conversation because I know not everybody likes UFC and they don't want to hear about it. But anyway, so this gentleman who is the CEO of UFC, he had a team of doctors. He did his blood work. They couldn't dial in anything. And Becca, the biologist, came in and said, I can help you within 10 weeks. Did this DNA report, found that he was deficient in certain things, and then told him to do a routine, you know, take these nutrients, do these exercises, you know, do cold plunges and stuff like that, which I think is super cool. I think everybody should be doing that. So what he kind of did is he said, take this that you are deficient in and make your body a healthy machine by doing X, Y, and Z. So I think every doctor should be doing that. But it does take people to be serious about their health, right? It seems to me like everybody just wants a goddamn pill and here, just fix me. It takes too much effort to do anything myself. I'll do the bare minimum and place this little thing in my mouth, fill a cup of water and drink it. Look at me. I'm in charge of my health. I don't think that's, I think that's a foolish way of looking at things. And I think that medication is needed. I'm not against it, but I think everybody takes too many and we're too lazy, including myself. I'm a person, so anything I say, I fall under everything that I say. So I say people are stupid. That includes me because I'm people. You know, not all of us make the best decisions on everything. So I will say this as well. I am going to go back on keto. I am having the test done today. And then we'll go back to the doctor to look at those tests. Not the DNA test. I'm doing a different test, which I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's kind of no one's business. But based on that, the doctor is going to recommend something or say, holy hell, you need to do this, take these pills. And in the meantime, I'm getting my DNA tested and I want to be able to hand my report to him and say, this is what I have. This is my report. Can you read this? And if he can't read it, or he doesn't want to look at it, or he doesn't believe in it, and he just says, here, just take this stuff, then I may have to find a different doctor. And it's not because I don't like him. He's a super good guy. You know, he means well. He's doing what he's trained to do, right? So people go to school, they get trained, and they have a hard time varying from that because they got a grade. They had, you know, they had a point where they were gauged, and so when they succeeded, they were programmed now to spew whatever it is that they were taught, and some of it good, some of it bad. But I think it's a real mistake that nutrition, diet, and exercise isn't number one. And you know, it's not easy. I always have this conversation about discipline. Discipline is the number one thing people lack. And like in the US military, discipline is huge, right? I mean, without discipline, people would, we wouldn't have a very good standing army. And so discipline is required. To get up in the morning, to exercise, to make whatever healthy food, to prep your food, right? I mean, you got to take it serious. So I can tell you this, burgers, beer, going out, drinking, eating to excess, exercising less, doesn't work. Don't even mess with it. It's a waste of time and a waste of effort. It's fun at the moment, but you know, it does shorten your life. Even if you're popping pills, you have potential of having issues. So it's not complicated. Doesn't mean you can't enjoy wine. In fact, on keto, once I get into keto after a few months, I am once a month, or twice a month, actually, that's what I decided on. I am going to do some wine tasting. And anytime I have some red meat or some decent food, I say decent food, it's all decent food, food that's more gourmet, then I will be la-ti-da, and I will pair it with some good wine. I have plenty of wine right now, so I don't need to be going out, but I will continue the wine, what's on sale at Costco, and I will continue to buy and build my cellar. I really only buy wine from Costco just because I think the deals are pretty good. You're not finding Opus One or anything like that, but you do find, you know, there's Camus and Stag's Leap and a whole bunch of other ones. Like this Christmas, you'll see on one of my other episodes that they have a bunch of unique wines from better vineyards, not better, they're just more prestigious vineyards, and a big, huge selection of wine. They're not on sale because I'm not covering that, but I did do a pan of them, and somehow I got started talking about wine. Excellent. Okay, I like wine. What can I say? So anyway, this is, as I say, this is my show. You never know what you're going to get. I try to categorize them. This is like a catch-all, this channel. It'll be, hey, I'm making music. Hey, I'm making a video. Hey, I have a thought. Hey, did you know? Hey, I have a question. And it'll be everything. But I try to group them like the wine stuff. I try to make a playlist with the wine stuff. So if you subscribe, know that you may get some things that you may or may not agree with. Well, that goes to Stan anyway. You may or not enjoy as much. It may not be interesting, but I am going to continue because it kind of keeps me going. So please like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know what you think, or just like and hit the notification. That's fine too. It helps the channel grow. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I am not there yet, so I got about 998 more to go. So thank you for you two, not YouTube, but you two, actually 3, because I think I subscribed to thank you to myself and the other 2 that subscribe. Please add yourself to the list of subscribers. That would be super awesome. So it's the 19th. It is 9 o'clock in the morning, and I am in the city of Orange. And it is supposed to rain, so I'm getting out when I can actually, I'm walking farther than I normally walk because you may not know this, but I started talking for about half hour, and then stupid me, I didn't hit record. So Amateur Hour USA, that's what we always like to say, USA everything. So you'll hear that quite a bit. So I am going to stop right at this stoplight up here, and I'll turn around and start talking again. So there's a V. Montoya Inc. nursery that resides on the path. And so I am going to go to the entrance of that, which is right here, because this is about, that is about the 2.5 mile mark with the amount of air. So I'm at the stop sign. As you can see, there's the stop sign, and I turned around. All right, so 2.53 miles. That's in the realm of the error, plus or minus 0.06. So let's continue talking for a while, and hopefully I can edit this so that it doesn't drive everybody batty and crazy. The way this travels, there's a recharge basin, which is basically a big water hole. It used to be an old gravel pit, I believe, in Orange, California. And this path goes kind of around it, at least on 3 corners. And so this part that we're walking on is on Hughes, which is irrelevant to you, I'm sure. But if you want to make a plan to come and walk with me, then by all means, reach out. You can reach me at contact me at the MBHshow.com. That's contact me, CONTACTME at the MBHshow.com or the MBHshow.com. So, yeah, if you want to send me wine, you have information you want to send me, you just want to say hi, you can obviously leave stuff in the comments, but if it's bigger than that and you want to communicate on a more personal level, then by all means you can contact me there. But please, the only thing I request is be nice, because I will not read things that are not nice. It's too easy to be mean, so don't take the easy way out. Okay, so that's the recharge basin. It is starting to sprinkle. Like I said, it's supposed to start raining, and I wear my sunglasses 24/7, so it's no, it's not sunny, and yes, I do have my sunglasses on, but that's the way it goes. So the thing about the mornings is there's a lot of traffic on this, a lot of foot traffic on this path. So, morning. So back to the journey. So what you can expect. I know this is a long one, but just play it in the background, and when you hear something, turn it up, and they won't all be this long, or maybe they will. I don't know. We're gonna find out together. So I'm gonna keep you posted on my thoughts on sequencing.com. So it's like sequencing. For some reason, I can't say anything today. Sequencing.com, and I will, the things I have question about, it's like, I don't care about what your history, your medical history is, and nor should you care about my medical history, what it actually is. That would be strange if you were invested in my health, unless that's your thing, and then I get it. And I'm okay sharing ideas. And if you're a doctor or you're an expert, I will listen. So I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, it's not about what I have or what I don't, or what you have and what you don't. It's how the hell do we navigate this shit show that we have? It's a little bit bizarre, because you have like old school people, like my parents. They go to the doctor 3 times a week, and they spend their life going to the doctor. They have a lust for life, which I think is hugely important. The psychological part of living is hugely important. That's my belief. I've seen it firsthand. My dad's boss lived to 100 years old, 100 and a half years old, and still worked. The last time I saw him, it was his birthday. I didn't see him much. My dad just had to drop something off or do something with him, for him, whatever. But he's not my dad's boss anymore. It hasn't been his boss for 20 years or 15 years. But anyway, my point is, he had a lust for life. He lived to be 100 years old. And he lived on Western medicine. And my parents, who are in their 80s, they're still kicking. They're not in a nursing home. They're not in assisted living. It's getting harder for them. I'm seeing them age. They're in their 80s. They're lust for life, and they go to the doctor all the time, and they listen to the doctors religiously. My uncle, my cousin, just told me that, the Western medicine kept him going, but maybe shouldn't have, which is interesting. So then that's the quality of life. So you may have a lust for life, but everything just fails. And that's what we don't want. So we have to navigate. So is being addicted to pharmaceuticals, or the need for pharmaceuticals for you to sustain your life, is that something that you think is the way to go? I don't want to be taking something for the rest of my life, and then if I don't take it, at least a man-made substance that, I guess everything's man-made. As I'm talking, I'm realizing that there's two sides to the coin. I would rather do it as naturally as I can until there was an absolute need to do it another way. But I don't think one size fits all. And I don't think it's just, oh, well, you have this pool of 1,000 different medications that the pharmaceuticals do. Try this one. Oh, that dose is too high, too little. Adjust it. Oh, that medication isn't working. Then try this one. That's just rolling the dice on, you know, the research that a company that you're paying, right? Mind you, you pay your doctor and you pay for your drugs, right? It's a business. So they have to weigh out with the Hippocratic oath, and pharmaceuticals don't. They just need to make sure they're not killing a bunch of people or that it's hidden so that, you know, they can continue to make money. And they do good things. There are good medications. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, how do you navigate it and how do you know? I don't. And I would say 9 times out of 10, I'll even go worse. 1 time out of 100,000, you don't know. No one knows. It's the doctors think they know, and we hope that they know more than everybody else. But why aren't they asking for you to go and do a DNA mapping? And why aren't they reading that information? And why isn't the team include a human biologist or a genome specialist or a DNA specialist and a nutrition expert and a nutrition, you know, a personal trainer? Why is it always take this pill? And I think by accident, my doctor actually answered that question, and it had to do with the shingles vaccine. So I told him, I said, I do vaccines, but the last one I did was the, you know, the one that everyone went fucking ape shit stupid and everyone had to get it and all that, you know what it is. And so I did those 2 based on shitty information after I waited a whole long time. And I did it. And on the second one, my body, you know, I don't do good with shots anyway, so that's another deal that I have to deal with. But anyway, I did it so that I could go see an old friend of the family's, because they said, oh, they wouldn't let you in unless you had the vaccine. And then that was my first question. That's when that wasn't the first time. That was when it verified people had lost their freaking minds. Is that, I'm not saying get it or don't. I'm not saying that. But for me, I wouldn't have gotten it, because especially based on that, it's like, well, wait a minute. If they have it, why do they give a shit if I have it? The vaccine, that is, right? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So the whole thing never made sense to me, and it seemed pretty anti-goddamn American to me. Like, well, if you don't like the term American, fine. Anti-freedom. If you don't like that word, you have issues. But it's okay, we all have issues. So anyway, so that was the last vaccine that I got. I did get a measles, you know, I've had all, you know, when I was a kid, I had all the measles and I had chicken pox and I had all this stuff. But anyway, so he was trying to get me to get the shingles virus, in which my mom had, and she got it. And then I explained that, and he said, well, the vaccines have gotten better. So they're 95% more accurate or able to stop it. And I'm like, okay, so we're just shooting ourselves full of stuff with the possibility of it being effective. And when it's not, we regroup and then we do it again. And we're just like pumping our bodies full of these artificial things. I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm certainly not saying that's a good thing, right? So when I said, well, what happens if I don't get it? He said, well, if you get shingles in your eye, you could have eye problems for the rest of your life. And then you would have to go to the ER, and you would have to possibly have some hospital pain remedies and this and that, and it costs a lot of money. And then I went, okay. So you just said it by accident, is that you're trying to save the industry money and prevent people from going to the emergency room and so on and so forth. I understand you don't want people, no one wants to go to the ER and that, but what percentage of people get it, and what percentage of people get it in their eye or have adverse, long-term things? So do I risk putting something in my body to prevent something that the chances I may or may not get are very low? Maybe they're not low, I don't know. But that got me thinking, is that every time I go, I need to get some sort of shot or something injected into me, or that's a shot, thank you, or prescribed a pill. Never am I prescribed, go get a DNA mapping, here's a nutritionist, and here's your personal trainer and your gym membership. Not one time has my doctor ever said that. So you tell me. I mean, I'm looking at trying to navigate so I don't have to be reliant upon things that are synthetically made, making pharmaceutical companies super rich that might have an adverse effect on my health. It's just the way I'm going. So if you are interested in sequencing.com, I am going to review it, and I'm going to try again. I know I said this. That's why I said keep this on in the background, and when you hear something interesting, turn it up. I have to lose a bunch of weight. I don't want to take medication. I want to do it all naturally. I'm probably going to get on the keto diet again. Like it, love it, I don't know. And then eventually I might go to the Mediterranean diet. All good, whatever is effective. But I don't know what's effective, right? And I don't think doctors are 100% on it either. I think they have a good idea because they have a pool of information, a pool of data that they pull from, clinical research. But some research is questionable as well. Who paid for it, how it was funded, how it was performed, how the data was taken, what data points are they actually looking at, what did they miss, what did they inflate, so on and so forth. So my journey is diet and exercise. So I'm starting off walking 3 miles a day. Today it's probably going to be a little bit more. 3 miles a day, that's it. I'm not going to go out and make it so I'm going to go 30 miles and start jogging and running and tweak my knees and hurt myself. And no, just walking. You're seeing, this is what I do right here. And I'm going to do this periodically with the GoPro and this setup. So you'll be able to see it. So I am a certain weight right now. I am doing a soup diet that is all vegetable soup with veggies, and my girlfriend made it with some leftover prime rib off of the rib itself, off of the ribs that come with it. So it is beef and vegetable. I'm doing that, and it is going through me like nobody's business. However, I think what's going through me more is the tincture or concoction I'm having before I have my coffee. So I'm still having coffee. Eventually, I think I'll stop having coffee and I'll only have tea. But right now, I'm having coffee. So it's kind of my diet right this second is the soup until it's gone. So it'll probably only be a 3-day affair. And then the concoction is a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a juice of a small lemon, a pinch of freshly ground pepper. Not pre-ground, basically. I pre-ground it, but it was I ground it anyway. Not freshly, but, and half of a teaspoon, not tablespoon, half of a teaspoon of cayenne and 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And then I mix that up and I put some water in it. I have a frother that, if you don't have a frother, I'm going to show it to you at one of these episodes. It's for frothing. I got it on Amazon. It's for frothing your cream or milk for a latte or what have you. So what I do for my coffee is I forgot I had the thing and I found it and I went, oh, this is perfect for mixing up my little tincture. But since then, like I said, it's only been like 3 days. I've been frothing my cream with some monk fruit, and it has been delightful. So it works really well. The tincture or elixir or whatever the hell you want to call it that I'm making doesn't mix 100%, so you got to do the frother in it real fast, and then I drink like half of it or as much as I can. I take a breath and I just drink it, and boy, does it warm you up. Woo! And then I froth it again, and then it doesn't froth, I mix it with the frother, and then I drink the rest of it. So I start my morning with that, and then if I'm hungry, like today I woke up hungry. When I'm on keto, I would never wake up hungry. It was never an issue. I would fast, it was a good diet for me that showed good, healthy results. Nonetheless, going off of it, disaster. So I suggest if you go off it, go into a good, clean diet as well, eating good things, staying away from your sugars and grains, and don't have burgers, beer, and onion rings, and that's not a good thing. So go into like the Mediterranean diet. So anyway, that's what I've started doing. So it's been 3 days since the 5th, or 4 days. No, it's been 3. Today's the 19th of December, 2023. I'm going to say things over and over. And I can't wait for my sequencing kit to come. So all it is a swab. I'm going to read the directions. We can definitely go through it together. I'll take some video of it and kind of my experience with it. And I will send that off. And when I get the results, what I do with the results, I think, is the part that you all should be the most interested in, right? Might be worth nothing and you just put it aside and you're good to go, right? Don't worry about it. Hey, I did it. That's fun. That was fun. Gave me a little bit of information. Or, holy hell, I have certain things I should be concerned about on this. And then you take it to your doctor. So I'm curious what a doctor would do if I said, I have this mapping. Please tell me what I should do with it and if it's important to you. And I do believe if they say, oh, that's nice, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, that's awesome information. This is how we handle that. And actually, if I'm prescribed a bunch of medication, I may take the data to a different doctor that would know nutrition and try to help me that way if I need help. So I'm anxious to hear the data or look at the data, and I'm anxious, very anxious to share it with you, because if you are like me and you just question, right? Be intellectually inquisitive, right? Don't be damaging by your questions and just be standoffish, right? Follow the data. Question. You definitely have to question, because you own you. No one else does. And the benefit of you taking what they tell you is the benefit, hopefully, for you. But if it's not, don't be surprised. So we all have to take ownership of our own health. And it's not easy. I'm telling you right now, it's not easy, but it's just one of those things. You just got to do it. discipline. Wake up, just do it. Get it out of the way. Plan throughout the day, and enjoy your life, and get your head on straight, right? The mental part of life is just as important as the physical part, because the mental can drive the physical. And I've seen it happen, as I explained earlier. I think that this is gonna wrap up this segment. I've said the same thing over and over and over again. And I probably will edit this pretty crappily, so you're gonna hear it over and over and over again. But again, please like, subscribe, comment, share. And if you wanna contact me at thembhshow.com. That's CONTACTME at thembhshow.com. And, or like I said, just leave a comment. And I hope I can share something interesting with you, because there's information out there, but it's not information from me. So I'm one of those people that have to try and do and decipher. And sometimes I come up with the fact that I still can't figure it out. I have to rely upon somebody else, which is perfectly fine too. There's no right or wrong answer, just as long as you ask questions and take ownership and have your discipline. That is pretty much it. And hopefully the next episode will be some wine tasting, which may or may not be good, because the one that I just did was kind of all over the place, and I kind of run out of time, because I like to pump them out before they're too old, and ideally I want to get them out the day after, or no more than 3 days after, and that goes with what's on sale at Costco. So I had somebody ask, what's the point of on sale at Costco? Well, here's the point. One, you get to see the label. You can then research it, because you're probably on a computer. And then you can look up the wine yourself, right? Also, not all Costcos have the same wine. So yes, you can go to 2 different Costcos in Tustin, but for instance, I found an Oregon wine, Pinot Noir, that you'll see on the next episode. That wasn't at the little Costco, that was at the big Costco. So you're just gonna find different things at different Costcos, and a lot of them are gonna be redundant and the same. And I'm gonna, I was gonna do this every week, but I'm gonna try to pump them out every couple weeks, because a lot of times the sales last at least a week or two, and some of the information's redundant, but I haven't figured all that out, because I'm building the channel. That's why I need you to like. I want to monetize this so I can get some of the expensive wines that aren't on sale, which I have already purchased, but I want more. And you can send me some if you want. You can donate, and if you'd like to donate, I can use that money to go buy some wine that you suggest. So if you're looking or want my opinion on something, you can say, here's $10, go buy this cheap wine, or here's $200, go buy this nice bottle, and let me know what you think. So I have more cheap wine right now than expensive wine, but boy, is there a difference. I had some Swanson Cabernet a couple days ago. Was about a year old, and my God, it was so much better than some of the other wines I've had recently. What I like is, I like dry, but not like a woody dry to where the tannins are too big. I like acidic, and then I like some complexity. I like a long finish, and I like it strong on my palate, and it to complement food. So I like the pepperies and the spicy, and not too acidic. I like it well balanced, but some wines are just too tanniny, too dry, and some just not. They're just immature and don't taste great. So now I'm on wine. So on that, please check out the next episode that will be about wine. Going into the tunnel, I'll see you later. So anyway, on that note, check out the next episode that would be on wine, and follow along on the sequencing.com health journey. It might be fun for you, and it's definitely interesting for me. So I will see you on the next show. Thank you for joining me. I'm Matthew, and this is the MBH Show.